Og som I kan se, så er der sket noget mystisk, der er sket noget mærkeligt. Men det er også fordi, at det er en ret mærkelig jul, vi skal have i år.
Noget julemagi?
Ja, eller der er noget gregoriansk kalender, der er sådan lidt skewed, kan man sige. Fordi at ting er, at vi har jo ikke nogen første advent i vores julekalender.
Nej, men
Det
var i november måned.
Det var det nemlig. Men til gengæld, så kører vi adventsafsnittet nu. Og det er nemlig den anden advent i december. Det er den 7. december. Så derfor så skal vi jo ud og kigge os lidt omkring. Og vi tænkte, vi lige vil have en pause fra Spybrew. Så vi går ned i cykelkælderen. Vi går ned her til Bicycle Brewing, der ligger i København.
Aalborggade, Østerbro.
Ja. Og her, der har vi været så heldige at støde ind i Alex. Hello, Alex.
Hi, guys.
Så vi tager resten på engelsk fra Alexander fra Californien.
Super.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure.
Such a nice bar you have.
Thanks.
And
I have to ask, what's up with all the bikes?
So the idea behind the bikes is actually, we started building up the brewery a couple years before we opened to the public. And we're sitting in Ølbarakken, drinking some of the very first beers with friends and family from a converted bicycle. We have a photograph on the wall, but basically like a box on the front of a short john, small wheel in the front, big wheel in the back. And we're talking about like, what should we call this business? And looking at the bike, drinking a beer. Had to Google whether or not that existed. There are some other bicycle-related breweries in the world, of course, right? It's a common word, but there wasn't one in Denmark, so that was the idea. But then, what happened was it tapped us into that name and our enthusiasm for cycling, tapped us into like the huge cycling culture we have. And that's both like bike makers, bike shops, bike events, and that's pretty cool. And then for us, the sweet spot is cycling enthusiasts, beer enthusiasts, and there's like some overlap between those two, right? Yeah.
okay.
One of those Venn diagrams. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think we are die hard in the beer diagram here.
But you biked here tonight.
I did.
Okay.
So maybe it's not that bad actually. But we are here to taste the beer that you have been in collaboration with, together with Amager Bryghus.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the beer?
Totally. It's a lot of fun. First off, great fun to brew with those guys. I mean, really, like, they're real professionals, right? Amager Bryghus, and have been around for a while. So when we got the opportunity to do this together, the idea that they proposed was to choose something like from my childhood Christmas as the inspiration for the beer. And I thought, that's a cool idea, right? So what we did was, I used to get these chocolate oranges. They're called Terry's chocolate oranges. They're not so common here.
No.
People in the UK know them, and people in the US know them, right? But what they basically, just imagine a chocolate the shape of an orange, and it's flavored, obviously with orange. I think you've got something in Denmark. We've got something here that's pretty similar. It tastes the same. It's like a stang.
Orange stang.
Yes, that's it. Yes. Has basically the same flavor profile, right? But the idea behind this beer was to capture some of those flavors in the beer. And we used exactly the same, ingredients that they use in the Terry's chocolate orange. So it's actually an orange oil that gives it some of the orange flavor, which is sort of a uniquely orange expression, right?
Okay, so you didn't put orange or peel in it. It's actually the oil.
Yeah, exactly right. And I found previously we use orange peel in a lot of different beers, but the flavor presents itself in a fairly subtle way, right? So to get the real sort of orange taste that was characteristic in the chocolate was the idea of using the same thing. And then we used kakaonibs for the chocolate. And obviously malts that highlight chocolate flavors. Right?
So, Alex, are you saying that we are going to drink liquid orange stang?
Hopefully. That's the idea. But yeah.
Okay, and
I'm ready to taste it.
Are
you ready?
Yeah, I just want to know what the alcohol vol is on this.
Or you don't want to know. Yeah. No, you don't. 11%.
Yeah, it's not for biking.
It's not.
No.
Yeah.
That's not that bad for a stout in these days.
It's yeah.
But let's
yes.
First of all, very dark.
Yeah.
Very orangey.
You can smell the orange, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it has that orange zest.
Yeah.
Like just when you squeeze an orange.
Yeah. Which is I guess that's the oil like coming out of the peel, maybe, right? Yeah.
Cool. But
cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. I'm thirsty. This is amazing.
Very
So you're from California?
Yes.
Do you have Christmas beers in California?
Yes, we do. I think, it's interesting. There's a really strong Christmas beer tradition in Denmark, obviously, right? With its own characteristics. But there is also like a strong Christmas beer tradition in the US, maybe slightly different. But I can think back to, so I'm from San Francisco, and when we last lived there, I guess it was 15 years ago. But we lived close to Haight Street, which is a famous street from the 1970s or on. But there's a bar there, a really famous beer bar called Tornado. And they used to do something they celebrated called Christmas in July. And it's actually when they got some select breweries from like the West Coast to early release or like pre-release or like sneak peek their Christmas beers in July. And so you'd go and we tasted like 20 Christmas beers on a warm summer's day in San Francisco, right? Yeah, it's good fun. So we had our own, I guess California has its own take on.
So what is a Californian Christmas beer?
Oh, that's a good question, I think, right? But I think my take on Christmas beers in general is like anything that has some characteristic flavors of the season. And that could, for example, be, not leaning too heavily towards spices necessarily, but it could be spices. In this case, it could be orange and chocolate, because at least to me, that's characteristic of the season, right? Or a number of other things, right? But as long as it's got that, and then otherwise, leaning maybe towards the darker, the stronger, as generally, I guess, winter beers are, right? So
it's funny. The only thing I can come up with when I think about like American Christmas beers is Nevada's Holiday.
Oh, yeah, sure. And that's California too, right? So they're in Chico, yeah.
What do you think, Casper?
I like the fruity bitterness that is added upon the malt base, and the toastiness is bitter in itself, but the fruit gives it another dimension, and that's very exciting for me.
I think that the notes of orange are really, really unique. I've never tasted anything quite like that. I tasted a lot of, orangey beers, both IPAs and also dark beers. But I think this implementation of oil, I've never had that before, and it's kind of fresh.
Yeah,
and I think that plays up against the chocolate nibs a lot.
Yes, it gives the dark beer some other kind of acidity than what you're used to.
Yeah, maybe,
and that makes it more refreshing. I could use a bit more chocolate. The chocolate that is there is very dark, like 80% flavored.
Yes,
chocolate,
yeah, totally.
like that.
Yeah,
could use a bit more roundiness to it, but overall, I'm very happy with it.
Thank you. It's interesting, actually, these chocolate orange, we debated this a little bit, right? Because the chocolate orange actually comes in a dark chocolate and a milk chocolate version, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we should make a future milk chocolate version.
That's good.
Maybe, right?
I know the orange tongue is also in dark chocolate.
Is it? Yeah. But you're right. It definitely is very much on the dark, really dark chocolate notes. Yeah.
Wow. But amazing. And I think this is a good example on what happens when you collaborate and share ideas. I think that's maybe one of the most beautiful things about craft beer, when people come together and collaborate and make cool stuff.
Talking about beauty, when you came to Denmark, 15 years ago?
Yeah, even more. Well, yeah. Off and on. We had the opportunity. I was here first for a few years. Then my wife, who's from Copenhagen, we moved back to San Francisco, and then we came back here. Okay. So we had the opportunity to live both places.
So you came here, and then you experienced Day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right.
How was that introduction to Danish beer tradition?
Right, that is a wild tradition, right? It's so funny. We've had a lot of not only I first experienced, we've also had guests coming from abroad to see this and just being blown away by it. Also, just I guess by the sheer success of Carlsberg from a marketing perspective, right? Turning this into a holiday.
It's insane, and the weird thing about it is actually I don't know if you've seen the commercial with the sled. Yeah, that is the oldest still running commercial in the world.
No shit, I didn't know that. I knew it was old, but yeah.
And just these guys just sat there and thought, okay, we're gonna make this marketing stunt, and then they made a national holiday in Denmark all of a sudden.
Right,
it's crazy.
It's awesome, and it's
yeah, but the beer perhaps not so much. But I'd rather have this one.
Definitely,
yeah.
Cool merch though, but
that's true. That is true. So how do you celebrate the holidays here in Bicycle Bars? Do you have a lot of Christmas beers on tap, or?
Yeah, we typically do a lot. So we're really small, right? So as you guys know, I guess probably Copenhagen's smallest brew pub, and we're brewing 200-liter batches, just a few meters behind you. But part of that means we're practically kind of a test brewery, or we're the equivalent of a bigger brewery's test brewery, right? But what's kind of fun for that is we're just making new things all the time. But to answer your question, so for our Christmas beers, we had this one with Ama, of course, but I did 2 kind of like test really small batches of a ginger orange, like honey IPA called Ginger Bells. And then I did a cherry, like a stout Skiosabé porter, low ABV porter. So like 4.5%, but with a lot of stout Skiosabé. It's like really cherry. And these are just kind of fun. So we just did those both like one-off experiments. If people really like them, which so far so good, maybe we do it again next year. Otherwise not.
That's great.
Yeah.
Amazing. But thanks for having us.
My pleasure.
And we're probably gonna lure some other guests down here.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Totally, 100%.
But it was nice to have a break from Spybrew.
Tomorrow we'll be back in Hvidovre.
Yes. Also a lovely place. That's our second
That's
home.
like home, yeah.
Our second home. But for now, I just think we're gonna say cheers. Happy holidays.
Cheers, you too.
And
Vi ses i
see you
morgen.
tomorrow.
Cheers.